this is where I got my start with it, and it's a little bit different where I created the relic that would go inside. So this is talking about funerary customs, and so I made this coffin for an apple core, but I didn't just find the apple core. I ate a whole bunch of apples and fried a bunch of apple cores and got the one that looked really, looked the best. And then I treated it like how I felt we treat the bodies of something that maybe we shouldn't be placing that much importance on. You should place more importance on the spirit or the thoughts or the memories. But anyway, so I took some paint and just, painted that apple core to look lifelike or more like straight out of the tube, red and white. And so that was just showing how maybe we focus on things that should be left, natural to decay and go back into the earth, even though not that I'm saying we should do that with all our families' bodies, but there's disease visual clues. So I went with this hunting night crawlers, a reliquary for dirt from up the lake, because my parents were really good at disguising really, undesirable chores as games. I have an older brother, and so to go fishing you need these night crawlers that are nice and juicy and come out of the ground after it rains, in case you haven't ever done that. And so if it hasn't rained, they water for them with a sprinkler, and it's a sprinkler on top. This is probably 8 inches across. And after they water all day, the night crawlers will come out and lay halfway on the ground at night, and you have to sneak out with your flashlights, sneak up on them and grab them, and just pull them slowly out of the earth and put them in your bucket. And of course, it's a game to see who could get the most night crawlers. And I surely wanted more than my brother. And again, this was northern Minnesota, so we'll talk about mosquitoes later. But it was, they watched from the cabin. I wonder so what am I going to do? That's gross. Well, what would I not want to find, just laying around the house or on your kitchen table? And it would be toenail clippings. I'm sure there's grosser things, but that's pretty sad. So I made this toenail reliquary, and putting in these, the bones of the saints, the attributes of the saints. It's like, well, if I put my own toenails in there, that's kind of self-glorification. So I had to write to 7 different people that I would actually want to handle their toenails, or they're special enough to me that I could pick through. And they did. I sent them baggies in this letter request, and they didn't really ask. They just sent back baggies of toenail clippings to me. And so I picked out the best ones and put them in there. And in the little gold-leafed area. And I was going to say, yes, you peel back the toenail lid to look inside to see the toenails. Then, I wanted to make, well, my aunt was telling me you have to take your calcium pill. So it's so hard to remember. So I was going to make this little container that I could carry around in my pocket. And so I'd remember, at lunch, take your calcium pills. But that grew into an 8-inch long bone that's more like a Pez dispenser. And so you can crack it open and keep your week-long supply of calcium pills. So I run. They look at me funny, and it's not Viagra, it's Vivarin. So caffeine, and there's a lot of things I approach as to whether I have something that I want to put in it specifically, or whether I want to play with some new technique. And I have a glass history, so I worked in a stained glass shop for 6 years, and I haven't done any fusing or slumping or explored hot glass, so I made the eyeball for this, and it lights up even though it's not lit up right now. Little Vibrant pills set at every hour of the day, because we have to get something done, always work really hard, fast-paced society. So it's just comments on that. From Defense, a reliquary for mosquito repellent, and the little bottle that's in there is some Army issue mosquito repellent that my dad got at Army surplus by the cases when we were little, and it's still around. It's like 100% DEET, which, okay, that's only slight exaggeration, and it works really well. We would put it on, there's a lot of mosquitoes in northern Minnesota, so when we put it on, they would lie here that's underneath the mosquito repellent mark. But sometimes to do something quickly it feels pretty good. So, and those little bobbers, you see, are really cute. So I had to get a little miniature bobber, make a ring for it, make a little stand. So this one's called Hooked, and it is, your finger can fit right through the hook part. Who knows what's going to happen over time, whether they melt, whether bugs get in them, anything like that. But bugs have not gotten into them, but just the time can really do a number on M&Ms. So I think these would melt in your hand, or actually, they might just blow away. It has different meanings for me, and I've applied different meanings to them, but I carry those dandelion seeds around for forever. They're from Wisconsin, from where I grew up, and I thought, oh, I want to put these in a piece. And also at the time, too, it was around the time when Dave Pimentel passed away, and a lot of us who learned raising from him, it's like raising plays a part in my work, but it is never really so much of a focus. So I wanted to do a piece that incorporated more of those techniques in it, just kind of as a remembrance. Besides the fact, just making elaborate packaging for packaging was fun to do. We do move a lot as a society. Usually people are, families are spread out all over the place, and we ourselves have moved quite a few times, and so these packing peanuts are, they play an important role in protecting our precious objects. But also, too, they're becoming, well, not that they're becoming extinct, but if you ship artwork, you find a lot of places now that, say no packing peanuts. So there's a lot of people who do not want these packing peanuts around anymore. And if you've ever dove into a box of packing peanuts, you know why? Because they're around for my cootie game from when I was a kid. And that was in the toy box up at the lake. So there is one other part that's left, but we use it as a doorstop. So I was excited to get this part of my cootie game together, and how we always reflect back, well, or not everyone, I guess, but at the great memories of childhood and all those beautiful, and how you want to keep those around. And I thought that a good way to do that is to cut off its head and mount it in protection protector, a reliquary for earplugs, as we should all wear our hearing protection. And it too stemmed from, oh great, I'll make this little container I can keep my earplugs in, keep it in my pocket, and then it just got bigger and bigger and became more of a presentation I collected, or that my mother helped me collect. Because a lot of my friends don't have hearing aids yet. But so from the Idaho community, I get a lot of help that way. And it was interesting just hearing the stories about what caused hearing loss. And of course there was some just, old age, but there were a lot of different stories, whether working in a factory, working on diesel engines. I got these cryptic notes, and it was like, Big Guns Army was on that one, or a car accident that caused hearing loss. So I like those stories. And there's a ring of hearing aid batteries there also too from my undergrad professor, Bill Fiorini. So he helped contribute to the piece as well, just as a wording to metalsmiths or a reminder.